The phenomena that I have researched is one that we may all be familiar with. It's to do with where we live and where we work. For a lot of people, although the events of our shared recent times have had an impact, this familiar experience is the daily commute, the long commute. For many of us, our jobs are 40 minutes or even an hour away from the locale in which we can afford to live. So what does this mean? Take, for example, where I live. It is a growing community, a locale where a constant flow of people are moving in and putting down roots. One problem that arises: 70% of the people who go to work every day in my locale leave the area, to the obvious detriment on family time, on people's health, on community activities and so on. But what can be done? How can we realise long-term and fulsome prosperity for areas like mine? For this problem is not a unique one. The answer can be found in how economic development occurs in locales that are growing. In my research, I have interviewed economic development stakeholders in Melbourne and Boston. I have studied relevant economic development strategy documents from both places, and I've analysed economic data about Melbourne suburbs and local government areas and about Boston zip codes and counties. Then I synthesised this information with what has been written about fields of study such as economic development, urbanisation and strategic foresight. This is what I found: that a knowledge economy supported by a place-based approach will help growing suburbs maintain balance. It will help them realise long-term and fulsome prosperity. For a knowledge economy is comprised of the production, the distribution and the application of knowledge, where production has to do with research, where distribution has to do with education, training and business networking, and where application has to do with innovation. And the place-based approach that supports this is about maintaining a viable business ecosystem, about ensuring the flourishing of local institutions, about actively supporting local innovation and entrepreneurship, and it's about making sure that those who provide major external input understand the uniqueness of the target locale. For those who create and implement strategies to develop local economies, the advice is to pay more attention to the production of knowledge. If they did, they would see the creation of more high-value industries and more high-skilled local jobs with flow-on economic benefits to local businesses that only serve the local area. In short, it's about developing and utilising the local production of knowledge, where the long-term prosperity for growing locales flows from a place-based approach that supports the local knowledge economy.